An incredible discovery has been made 7 kilometres below the surface of the Indian Ocean.
I was just blown away.
Researchers in a deep-sea submersible exploring the ocean floor at extreme depths and pressures discovered strange objects scattered about. They turned out to be whale bones.
And I love the word they use, like whale necropolis. It's like this whale graveyard.
They went back again and again and found not just recent remains, but fossilised bones. Hundreds of them.
In every dives, we found whale fossils. Not just one, but maybe 2, 3, or 10.
And it looks like the bodies of whales have been collecting here for a long time.
They were able to date some of these really ancient specimens, and the oldest ones to date are just over 5 million years old. The potential for additional discovery is just enormous because they basically found this like treasure trove that really has never been explored.
We call this the Fendouzhe. That is capable of reaching 11,000 meters.
Zhao Tongpeng and his team were using this submersible to explore what's known as the Diamantina Zone, a long groove in the seafloor to the west of Australia that goes down to 7,000 metres at its deepest point. That's deeper than the mountains of the Andes are tall. Over the course of 32 separate dives, the passengers in the sub discovered more and more whales, including 5 recent carcasses from 2 types of whales, beaked and baleen whales, and the recent remains were feeding a whole host of deep-sea creatures.
So that is like a seafloor garden. So you can say a bright star, a lot of bone-eating worm, as well as some clan, which is chemosynthesis-based animals who can use the chemical energy to grow up.
When whales die, their bodies bloat up with gas and may float up to the surface and drift on ocean currents. If and when they eventually sink to the sea floor, this so-called whale fall can provide a feast for deep-sea organisms. A single whale carcass can sustain an ecosystem for decades. The recent whale falls in the Diamantina Zone hosted over 35 different macroscopic organisms, many of which the researchers guess will prove to be new species. But there were also strange lumps scattered about the seabed, solid-looking objects that the researchers couldn't identify. The manipulator arm on the submersible was able to collect some samples.
When we at the seafloor, we didn't know what it is. But when we get back to the laboratory, we found, this is the whale fossils.
Fossils. Pieces of bone that had been covered and filled with minerals over millions of years. Not buried deep in the rock, but simply lying on the surface.
Since you're so far away from any continent, right, you're not having the influx of continentally derived eroded sediments carried by rivers. So you don't have sands or silts that are like covering over it. You're over 1,000 kilometers, I think, to the west of Australia. So that's why it was so readily available to the people in the submersible vehicle to sort of pick up all these specimens and bring them to the surface.
One reason Stephen's excited about this discovery is the sheer number of fossils found in such a small area. The sub explored just 32 small patches, adding up to an area less than 1 square kilometre, and they found 476 fossils. The whole trench-like area stretches out for 1,200 kilometres, meaning there could be hundreds of thousands more specimens down there. Another cause for excitement is the fact that these fossils may have been slowly collecting here for millions of years.
If the dates are accurate, and the oldest is like over 5 million years old, and who knows how much older it could go, but it would essentially be continuous. Like there would have been no reason for there to be any like hiatus or break in that fossil record. So in theory, in that trench, we have a continuous record of the diversity and abundance of beaked whales that lived in that part of the southeastern Indian Ocean.
Most of the fossils found so far are species of beaked whales, including a previously unknown species of extinct beaked whale. These are reclusive animals who inhabit deep waters, and the males in particular have hard, bony beaks, which are much more likely than the bones of other species to survive and fossilise. While other species and other bones have been broken down over the millennia, these hard beaks remain.
And so here we have beaked whales, which in life are rare and difficult to study. And now all of a sudden we have this bonanza where they are just like everywhere within this trench. And the more dives they do, I think the abundance and the diversity of beaked whales is going to increase. And we're going to be able to document the evolutionary history of these lineages of beaked whales, which we would never have access to in typical terrestrial type environments. So that's one thing that I find like super exciting about this discovery.
The Fendouzhe submersible has visited the ocean's depths many times, but the vast plains of the deep are relatively barren compared to the incredible density of bones in this narrow region. But why? The existence of this huge whale necropolis is a mystery.
There is a huge number of whales died in these areas. The question is why so many whales choose this place to rest on peace.
Whale graveyards are known from around the world, though none this deep, this large, or with a mixture of new and ancient bones. Some are likely the result of mass strandings or multiple whales killed by toxic algae. In this case, whale carcasses may have been funneled down into the Diamantina Zone due to its V-shaped cross-section and the way the currents flow through it.
So, the trench always have a V-shaped morphologies, which the currents, especially in the bottom currents, can concentrate those carcasses and transport those carcasses to on the bottom of the trench.
Then there are surface currents to consider and the behaviour of the whales, including the fact that beaked whales are some of the deepest diving cetaceans. We don't really know how all these factors contribute, but solving this mystery could reveal whether this whale necropolis is one of a kind or whether it could lead the way to other lost graveyards.
In theory, if you went to other places around the globe and found equally deep trenches, you might find equally abundant and diverse accumulations of cetaceans, of whales, beaked and baleen whales.
What's certain is that Xiaotong and his team have discovered the deepest whalefall community ever found, filled with strange and exciting creatures far below the sea. The combination of living ecosystems and ancient fossils makes this a unique site in the field of paleontology.
Not only is it documenting organisms that are extinct and lived in the past, but it's a growing one. It's being added to all the time. And so it's kind of like a new category of an amazing fossil deposit. It's a growing fossil accumulation. And that to me is one of the most exciting things about this.
You just use your old eyes to watch a new world unknown for human beings. So this is quite an amazing thing, I think.